How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. If you're following me on Twitter, you would know that I hit Infinite on Monday, so a little bit less than a week, and I did it without using the Thanos or Shuri decks. I ended up using KMBest Galactus and Knull list. I think it's by far the best Galactus list out there. I tried a lot of different iterations of it. I tried a Nimrod Destroy Galactus list that also worked out really well, but not quite as good, and I really enjoyed this list. It really fits my playstyle in just trying to simplify the game as much as possible, stay away as much as possible from 8 cube games, just get consistent wins, retreat for as little as possible, and this deck really lets you do that. You know by turn 6 whether you're going to win or lose. A lot of the times you're able to retreat for just 1 cube. When you know the Galactus is going to go off, you can snap and win 2 cubes. So it really simplifies the game, and it made it easy for me to climb this season. So before we get to the deck list, as usual, if you love all things Marvel Snap and you love video games, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell. Let's get to the deck list. Okay, so this is the list that KM Best released a while back. I'm not even sure how long ago. I've been running it for a while. But I think the deck is unique in that it solves a lot of the problems that Galactus decks have. The first one being not having priority when you drop Galactus on a lane, so you're susceptible to arrow. The other one just being susceptible to arrow. Doc Ock kind of helps with that. And so there are two main lines with this deck that you're going to want to play. There's the Electro line, and then there's the Wave line. In both of those lines, you're going to play Sunspot Lizard turn 1 and 2. On turn 3, if you play Electro, which I think is my favorite line, after playing Electro on turn 3, you're going to want to play Sunspot Lizard and Electro on the same lane. And then you're going to want to Doc Ock on turn 4 on that same lane to fill up their side. So when you dropped Galactus on turn 5, you can't get arrowed into the spot where you already have minions. Obviously, if you don't have Doc Ock, you're going to drop Leech on turn 4 and then hope to get the Galactus off by turning off their arrow in their hand. Doc Ock works a little bit better in that you'll destroy a lot more cards and your Knull on turn 6 will be a lot more powerful. But either way, the line works really well. You're going to Galactus on 5, and then turn 6 will be Knull, Death, America Chavez, Shang-Chi, depending on what they have. You're just going to kind of have to adapt from there. I've dropped Maximus, Shang-Chi on turn 6 before. If you have priority and you're afraid that they're going to drop their own Shang-Chi, a Maximus into a Wave, or Maximus Lizard, something along those lines, you also have that option on turn 6 as well. And then the second line that you have is the Wave line. Now, the Wave line is, I think, a little bit more susceptible to arrow because you don't get the opportunity to drop Leech or Doc Ock the turn after, but you'll drop Wave on 3, and then you're going to have to Galactus on 4 and just hope for the best. One little tip that I found is if they snap after you wave, it's generally clear that they have an arrow and they're going to arrow your Galactus over. You can choose to sit and figure it out, or you can retreat. I kind of flipped a coin every time it came around, retreated sometimes, stuck in sometimes, and I think most of the times I stuck in, I regretted it. So do with that what you wish. The Wave line's just a little bit more susceptible to problems. After you Galactus on turn 4, you're going to Doc Ock on turn 5. Generally, if I can get the Galactus off on turn 4, I will snap before the Doc Ock because I can follow it up with Shang-Chi on turn 6. And then a lot of the times with the Wave line, unless you're very lucky, you probably didn't get your Knull up to that much power. So sometimes you're not even going to be able to drop Knull for more than America Chavez. It's just a little bit more clunky. The Wave line's a little bit more clunky. I do like the Electro line better. The Wave line does work out better sometimes depending on the locations. So again, you're going to have to adapt and figure out which one. But generally, I like the Electro line. Also, the Wave line gives you a shot to win outside of being able to drop Galactus. If you don't have Galactus, I don't recommend dropping Electro on 3 because you're going to be stuck playing one card at a time, and this deck does not work well when you have to play one card at a time and try to win 3 locations. That's just a quick breakdown of how the deck plays. Again, it really simplifies the game. It makes it so a lot of the games when you lose, you're just losing 1 cube, maybe 2 cubes max. A lot of times when you're winning, you're going to win 2 cubes, possibly 4 cubes. I've had 8 cube games. Most of the time, I think they've probably been against bots, maybe against people who just didn't understand that Knull was coming down. And then I've lost 8 cube games. Most of the time when I lose 8 cube games, it's because they have their own Knull. Maybe they copied my Knull or they just had their own and they were able to come over the top of mine. So keep an eye out, but it kind of trims off those 8 cube games and keeps the game simple. And for me, that works a lot better. and I love that. So I'm gonna show you guys a few games. I'm not sure. Again, I don't film them until after this, so show you guys a few games. Hopefully show you guys how the deck plays out in both lines, and I'll talk to you guys after the games. So let's get to the gameplay. So Sunspot turn 1. We do have Electro and Doc Ock. Need Galactus. Skip the turn. Hopefully this isn't a bad location. Mindscape's not too bad if we can get our Galactus. So we'll look to Doc Ock next turn on Mindscape. And then hopefully we can get Galactus in the next 2 draws. We do need Galactus. I don't think we win here. Even if we Shang-Chi stuff next turn, they'll have a Knull with enough power, so. There's a Galactus. Okay. Yeah, so we'll Galactus here. I think we can honestly snap. The problem I have, I assume they're going to play something and they're going to get priority. Normally I would snap here. I'm not going to, just for the sake of the video. And then obviously we have Knull here. It's going to be in the 50s, almost 60, I think. No, 51. Oh, the Red Skull gave extra power. Yeah. And then Knull. I guess we can Death as well, because the Electro. GG. Victory. And that's the Electro line. So we have Wave into Galactus. It's not a terrible plan. I would like a Knull. Sunspot. No Lizard, no early drops. Wave into Galactus with nothing else to destroy just isn't too great. Their Lizard is great. Probably Wave. Wave right. Look to Galactus middle. Just kind of hope we don't get arrowed. This is kind of the problem with the Wave line. This makes our Knull pretty strong. Hopefully they'll play something on these off lanes. Red Skull, that's really good for us. Perfect. And then probably going to leech into a Knull next turn. Well, now we can Doc Ock. Doc Ock into Knull is actually really good, so we'll snap here. I think this kind of shows you the wave line pretty good. Even if he retreats, which I imagine he probably will. Zola. Now he's got priority. That's a pretty easy win here. Unless he has something that I'm unaware of. But I assume he's going to retreat here. king, and then I'm sure he's out. This feels like a bug. I don't have my exit game. Anyways, you see the line. I'm gonna try to restart game and see what happens. So we have a Sunspot on turn 1 again. Still no ramp. Drop Blizzard. Looking for Electro. Probably just an Electro, so we can leech on 4. And then we have a couple turns to draw Galactus. Maximus. I mean, we don't really want to let him draw, but Titan's pretty good for us. That kind of lets us Galactus if we can draw him. If we Maximus, it could give him his opportunity to draw Leech. And I don't think we want that. I think our line of winning is going to be trying to top deck Galactus in the next 2 turns. Play him on Titan and then Knull. It's kind of tough. No, I think we have to drop it. We have to make Knull as powerful as possible. Just sucks we're letting him draw 2 more. I guess he's going to draw a good amount because of stones anyway, so. Death. We're just passing turn. We need Galactus off the top. 20% chance. I mean, we need Galactus off the top and we need him not to leech. So it's really a tough one here. So no Galactus. I guess we are actually here. We can drop Knull right and then look to Shang-Chi middle, and that'll give Knull the extra boost of power. It's probably our best play outside of Leech. I don't think Leech is going to do too much. We just have to hope not to get leeched. Magneto is fine. Yeah, Magneto's fine. We don't have priority. If we get arrowed, we get arrowed, but I think this is pretty good. Puts us ahead middle, keeps us ahead left with 2 extra power for Sunspot and then 10 extra power for Knull. So he's got to make up some ground or arrow the Shang-Chi away. I think arrow is like the one card that really hurts this deck. Time Stone. Oh, and he arrowed us middle. So we're good. Perfect. Victory. And that's it for the gameplay. I'm a big fan of this deck. I like how simple it makes the games. It's very straightforward. The animation for Galactus is great. Knull is amazing when you destroy a bunch of stuff. It's just a really fun deck, and I really liked it. Helped me climb to Infinite faster than I have in any other season. Granted, this is only the second time I've been to Infinite, but I climb faster than I ever have. So give this deck a shot. Let me know how it goes for you. And as usual, if you love all things Marvel Snap and you love video games, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. See you in the next one.